Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are dealing with Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa, Thalam 13-beat cycle. We had seen sequences Tadhindina, Taka Dhimi Dhimi Taka, Taka Dhimi Tatha Dhimi, Tadhimi Taka Tadhimi, Dhim Ta Dhimi Dinaka, Dhinkid Tak Din Din Tankid, Taka Dhimi Taka Junno, Tangut Tadhim Tangut Tadhim Tangut Tadhim Tangut Tadhim, Tadhin Tangut Tadhin Tangut Tadhin Tangut Tadhin. All these sequences we have seen. Okay, now today we are going to see Takadin Dimi Din Dimi sequence and Tangut Tatha Dimi. Also, I am going to give a perspective of how we can use it in Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa, Thalam. It's more an idea. All ideas you should learn. Before I get into the class, I will start with the Tirukural on how to avoid useless words. That's the topic Thiruvalluvar had dealt in the 10 Tirukurals. Sirmai sirappodu ningum payanila neermai udayar sulin நற்குணமுடையார் பயனற்ற சொற்களை சொல்வாராயின் அதனால் அவரது மேன்மையும் நன்மதிப்பும் அவரை விட்டு நீங்கும். A person already possessing, who is deemed as a very good person with good qualities and good principles, and if he starts uttering useless words, his highness, his respect in the society will slowly go down. That's what Thiruvalluvar states. And I think reaching a height is very, very difficult. But sustaining there, it's all the more difficult. And that's what we have seen in a number of occasions where people, very big people who have reached greater heights, just tumble. Look at an example of Tendulkar and Vinod Kamble. When they came out in the cricketing world, both had equally good competency. They scored about 600 odd runs. Both scored triple centuries. Both were equally competent. But how did Kamble fail? He took everything on his head. Tendulkar was humble and he was learning all the time. And he became a respectable cricketer. Though Kamble has been in the history of cricket books, his richness or the remembrance is not as great as Tendulkar. So it's important, like if you reach a particular level, you need to ensure that you have to sustain, and for that you need to ensure that you talk good words. So that's one of the qualities to keep you in a very good level. So with this good thought, I'll get into the class. Takadin Dimi Din Dimi. Takadin Dimi Din Dimi is a fantastic sequence like Dim Ta Dimi Dinaka. It's a Madhyamakala Sul. It is called a phrase for the song which is not too slow, which is not too fast. These phrases can be used for those songs. Like for example, all these are Madhyamakala Surka. Like this, the tempo which is medium paced songs, you can use this phrases. Let's see how we can play in Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam. Takkadin dimmiddin, takkadin dimmiddin, takkadin dimmiddin dimmi. The first part. The takkadin dimmiddin fits for 3 beats, 1.5, 1.5. Takkadin dimmi is 2 beats. The next 8 slice is exactly Adithalam. Takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi. That's you have to do 2 times. Next paragraph. Takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, tatakita takkadin. That is the second paragraph. You have to do it twice. Takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi, takkadin dimmi. The variation you give in the last line. The next one. Tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi. That is the next paragraph. The fourth paragraph. Tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga dimmittin, dimmi, tangadadaga. That is the next paragraph. Tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, tangadadaga dimmittin, dim, tangadadaga 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 nangadadaga tangadadaga tangadadaga nangadadaga dam, tangadadaga tangadadaga nangadadaga dam, tangadadaga tangadadaga nangadadaga dam. This is how you have to play Takkadin dimmiddin dimmi. I'm going to exactly play 2 times these lessons and showcase you. You can exactly follow this for Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam. This is how you have to play without a cap, seamlessly like Adithalam, without any difficulty. How you can do it is, once when you dissect it, when you exactly know that you're going to play these things, it's easier. If you look at 13 beat, it's difficult. If you can split it, it's very, very easy because it's relational. When I say relational, I also want to tell you a story in Japan. A person whom I had a personal development session with him on the creativity of learning Japanese 100, counting 1 to 100 in 5 minutes. And he was telling me a very, very simple concept which I wanted to tell you also. Ichi, ni, san, yon, roku, hachi, kyu, ju. These are the sort of the basic syllables in Japanese. Ichi, you will say ichi scratch. Ni, you will say you will relate to your knee. Sun, you will relate to the sun. Okay, and when you relate the word with something you know already, it's easy to remember. Ichi, ni, sa, like that. So when you can relate, you can always you can easily remember those things, and you will be able to tell anything for that matter of fact. If you want to even relate a number, if it's a 6664, you can relate with your birth date. If it's something else, if it's Independence Day, 15/8/1947, you can relate closely those numbers. So if you want to have a good memory on number, if you want to improve your memory, you should do relational study. When you do the relational study, it's easier. Even in our art, in the Mridangam art, you are learning the relational art. I'm teaching you how to relate Adi Thalam to Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa. I'm also trying to relate you how you can use a Rupaka Thalam and a Misra Chapu Thalam into the Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa Thalam. Because 6 and 7 is 13. So you need to understand just not it that alone. You need to extend that learning into something else. That way you advance your knowledge. So that's how I have done today to teach you this Takadin Dimi Dindimi sequence. We will also see the perspective of Thangata Tadhimi, how to use in Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa Thalam. Thangata Tadhimi, Thangata Tadhimi, Thangata Tadhimi, Thangata Tadhimi. That is in Rupagam. Also in Misra Chapa, Thangata Tadhim, Takadhimi, Tatadim, Thangata Tadhim, Takadhimi, Tatadim. That's how the structure goes. Also try to relate how it goes in some Ganda Chapatalam. Thangata Tadhimi, Tatadhimi, Thangata Tadhimi, Tatadim. Aha, now you got 5. Now for 5, this is a pattern. Now use those pattern. Use the 5 pattern for the first 5. Then use the 6 pattern for the next 6. So 5 plus 6 becomes 11. And you can, for the last 2 phrase, you can use a 2-beat phrase. So it's an innovative idea of using a Gandachapu pattern, a Rupakam pattern, a Chatusram pattern sandwiched into Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa. This is something a different out of the box thinking. Now I'm going to give and demonstrate you an out of box thinking of how to use the Gandachapu phrase, a Rupakam phrase, and a Chatusram 2-beat into Sangeerna, Jathi, Triputa. The first 5 you can use a Gandachapu phrase. Tangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi. The next 6 beats you can use Rupagam phrase. Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi. The last 2 phrases. That is the phrase you're going to use. The entire sequence will be sounding like this. That's how you have to do. Now I'm going to demonstrate you a few other phrases, expression in the form of an expression. I want you to try and then see how you can develop this idea using different phrases. Tangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Taka Kada Gangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Talangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Tangata Dhimi, Talangata Dhimi, Talangata Dhimi, Talangata Dhimi, Taka Talangata Dhimi, Talangata Dhimi Tata Dhimi. Tangada Dimmi Tata Dimmi, Tangada Dimmi, Tangada Dimmi, Tangada Dimmi, Taka Tangada Tarigada Dimmi Tata Dimmi, Tarigada Dimmi Tata Dimmi, Tarigada Dimmi, Tarigada Dimmi, Tarigada Dimmi, Tarigada Dimmi, Taka Tarigada Tangada 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 Tangada. This is a continuous way of telling, but I want you to understand. That's what it is. Because it's all the lessons what you learned in Adi Thalam, Rupaka Thalam, Misra Chapa and Ganda Chapa. All I'm trying to do is use these pieces and try to integrate it into this thala. As this is an intricate thala, I want you to do all this homework and come for the next class. We will see whatever the lacunae you have, the gaps, the lacunae I mean the gaps or the clarifications that require me to resolve. I will have an independent review and explain you. Before I end this class, I will complete with the Tirukkural and I will go with the next class with the traditional reduction, how to go about it in Sangeerna Jathi, Triputa Thalam with its Mara Farans and Kurepu Farans Mora Korvai followed with what I have composed specially for you in a very, very simple way. I will teach you some 2-3 different formats of Moras and Korvais as well. Let me end this class with a Tirukkural. பயன் இல் சொல் பாராட்டுவானை மகன் எனல் மக்கள் பதடி எனல் பயனில்லாத சொற்களை திரும்ப திரும்ப பலதரமும் சொல்பவனை மனிதன் என்று சொல்லற்க மனிதர்களுக்குள்ளே பதர் என்று சொல்க. So the rule is very strong. If you keep on repeating useless words, you don't even call him a human being. He can be categorized as a non-human being. You can call him a padar. Padar is a Tamil categorical word. He states that he is not even be worth calling a human being. With this good thought, the good thought meaning, I say, now do not use useless words in society. Let's try to avoid it. It's for all, one and for all. I'm signing off this today, and I'll see you in the next class with a traditional reduction in Sangeerna Jathi, Triputa Thalam, Pranams, Povanur Ariyaya.